Good day everyone! Welcome to our online class, and today we are going to talk about adverbial phrases. But before that, let's take a look at our few reminders. Always check your Google Classroom for updates. Log in to your live worksheets accounts and update your work. Always turn on your camera during the class, and of course, you may always ask permission to turn it off from the teacher. So, let's start. We already know that a phrase is a group of words that does not make complete sense. For example, his book, in the park, to have lunch. Good girl, our team. So, such group of words that do not make complete sense are known as phrases. So let's talk about them. First off, we have noun phrase, a phrase that contains a noun and the words that modify it, like articles, adjectives, particles, and possessive pronouns. So let's take this as our example. The white curtains. The is our determiner, white is the adjective, and curtains as noun. Now on the other hand, verb phrase consists of a main verb and its helping verb. Just like the following example, should study is composed of modal verb and the main verb. Now let's move on to adverbial phrases. An adverb phrase or adverbial is a group of words that modifies a verb, an adjective, or a complete sentence. Adverbials give us more information about the sentence by answering questions like where, when, how, why, how often, how long, and how much. And on the basis of the type of information they give, adverbials are further divided into many categories, such as adverbials of place, adverbials of time, of manner, adverbials of reason, and the most popular of them all, the adverbials of frequency. Now let's talk about them one by one. First off, we have adverbials of place. Such phrases that tells us about the place of the action. The adverbs of place mainly modify verbs and tells us where something takes place. The commonly used single word adverbials of place are anywhere, somewhere, backwards, upstairs, indoors, nearby, off, behind, and so much more. Now let's take this sentence as an example. I called him outside the mall. Outside the mall is our adverbials of place. It consists of the adverb outside, the determiner the, and the noun mall. It is telling us about the location of the action. Let's do another one. Now in the sentence, the children were hiding beneath the table. Beneath the table is our adverbial of place. It consists of the adverb beneath, determiner the, and the noun table. It tells us something about the location of the action. Now let's take this as our third example. The child is going near the sea. Near the sea is our adverbial of place. It consists of the adverb near, determiner the, and sea as our noun. It's telling us about the location of the action. Next up, we have adverbials of time. Such phrases that tells us about the time of the action. The commonly used adverbials of time are yesterday, later, last year, all day, for a week, soon, afterwards, eventually, since morning, since last century, and many, many more. Let's take this sentence as our first example. I have known him since last 5 years. Since last 5 years is our adverbial of time. This particular phrase is telling us about the duration of the action, and the duration is an aspect of time. Our next example is, Sam has been deciding his presentation topic for last 5 years. Here, for the last 5 days is our adverbials of time. It is telling us about the duration of the action, and duration is an aspect of time. Let's take the last example for adverbials of time. The sentence, "The scientists have been trying to make a new research since last century." The phrase, "since last century," is our adverbial of time. Since, it is telling us the duration of the action, and of course, duration is an aspect of time. Now let's talk about adverbials of manner. Such phrases tell us about the manner or way the action takes place. Some commonly used adverbials of manner are well, loudly, roughly, easily, fast, promptly, wisely, rightfully, and so much more. Let's take this first sentence as our example. The kids ran more slowly than before. More slowly than before is an adverbial of manner. It tells us about the manner in which the action of running took place. Katie solved the equation more easily than her classmates. More easily than her classmates is our adverbial of manner. It tells us about the manner in which the action of solving the equation was taking place. Now let's take another example. Time flies very quickly. Very quickly is our adverbial of manner. It tells us about the manner in which the action of time takes place. Now let's move on to adverbials of reason. Such phrases tells us about the reason behind an action. Some commonly used one-word adverbials of reason are hence, therefore, thus, as, because, that. Let's take this sentence as an example. He couldn't join us as his daughter is sick. As his daughter is sick is our adverbial of reason. It is telling us about the reason behind an action. Next, we have the sentence, Felix was not allowed to attend the lecture because he was very late. Because he was very late is our adverbials of reason. It is telling us about the reason behind an action. Now for our last example, let's take the sentence, we are glad that Mac has come. That Mac has come is our adverbial of reason. It is telling us about the reason behind the action of gladness. Now let's move on to adverbials of frequency. Adverbials that tells us about the regularity or the frequency of an action are called adverbials of frequency. The commonly used one-word adverbials of frequency are often, seldom, never, annually, to name a few. Now, let's take this first sentence as an example. Liam visited her regularly at the hospital. Regularly at the hospital is our adverbial of frequency. It is telling us about the number of times the action happened. Next, we have the sentence, Jane practiced daily for the dance competition. Daily for the dance competition is our adverbials of frequency. It is telling us about the number of times the action happened. Lastly, we have the sentence, we visit our relatives usually in the weekends. Usually in the weekends is our adverbial of frequency. It is telling us about the number of times the action happened. And these are your adverbial phrases. This has been Teacher Chris, and this is Fundamentals of English Course Code EN21102. You guys take care and be safe out there. See you again next time. Goodbye!